I'll f your wife.
You know, I actually have a wife, though.
Oh, that's true.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Flagrant. Today, we have the Crown Prince of Baltimore in the building. Give it up for Stavros Halkias, everybody. Hey. Thank you for coming, my man. Appreciate you. I'm stoked you're here, man. We were talking a lot before the pod, but I'm excited because I think that you are doing it the best right now of, like, the new guys that are using social media, YouTube, to push out clips and like build a stand-up career. I think you're doing it the best, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me here. This fucking rocks.
Thank you, bro.
Before we get into, I just want to say this is fucking insane that this is a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, this is fucking rock. I feel like I'm about to be offered $1 million for you to fuck my wife. You know what I mean? This feels like a layer. This doesn't mean, you know,
would you take the $1 million though?
Would I take the $1 million? Probably not, honestly.
Come on, dude.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm too much of a villager still. First generation Greek immigrant. I don't want anybody.
Nobody gets to
fuck
fuck your wife?
I'll fuck your wife.
I actually have a wife, though.
Oh, that's true. That was the royal wife. Like anyone's wife, you know? That's philosophically, I'll fuck somebody's wife, but I don't want my wife fucked.
Fucking everybody.
That's where I will. I have fucked a couple people's wives. It's pretty nice.
Have you really?
Poly people, though, like polyamorous people.
They bring you in.
Oh, so Polynesians?
Yeah,
Awesome. Like the big ones.
I fucked the Rock's cousins.
You have a Samoan vibe a little bit.
Yeah, I do. Actually. Yeah, no, I love their vibe, absolutely.
Okay. They ask you, is there like a little bit where you're kind of insulted? Poly means there are people. Yeah, I think you know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going. You know, that's funny. There was
Explain
a girl,
poly real quick.
So poly is like an open relationship. It's like, you know, polyamorous. Yeah, basically what it means, you know?
Yeah.
There is a little bit of that. There was one, okay, so there was a girl that I fucked, the first time anytime I fucked anybody's girlfriend, wife, whatever. And I'm the right guy to do it because it's like, it's fun. You know what I mean? I'm a good time. You know what I mean? You don't want to, I'm not going to fucking ruin your wedding. I'm not showing up at the wedding. I'm not protesting. You know what I mean? I'm like, stop. What about what we had? It's like, no, dude, thank you for showing me your titties. I'm really happy. Put me on the registry. I'll buy you a fucking blender. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the guy to cheat with. But yeah, so the first time, actually, there was a girl who, so I was chatting with her online, and it was going really good. And it's like, you know, this very early, I wasn't really popping even. She was just like, she just like, you know, that I like. She just kind of found me.
She liked you for you.
She liked me for me. It felt
like before the views.
It was a simpler, more innocent time. You know, somebody with probably somebody with a charismatic fat father. You know what I mean? That's probably what it was. But she was like, hey, I got to be honest. We were chatting for a while, you know, sending nudes, the whole thing. And then she's like, look, I got to be honest. I have a boyfriend, but don't worry. I'm going to ask him for an open relationship. And then 2 weeks later, she was like, okay. So I asked him. He said no. But then I asked him if I could fuck you specifically, and he was like, cool with it. And that was devastating. It's like this guy's like, hey, babe, like, I'm sorry, we can't open it up. I love you too much. I don't want to lose you. And then she showed him a picture of me, and he was like, oh, yeah, you can fuck that guy. We'll be fine. We'll bounce back from that fucking guy.
That's where it's kind of insulting. It's like, wait, are you saying I can't take your wife?
Yeah. But, you know, certainly if I was thinking that way, but I just look at it more as like, hey, thanks for the pussy, man. You know what I mean? Like, thanks. And the man is the girl. Like, it's more like, instead of seeing it as somebody fucking your wife when you don't have one, it's just like, you just have friends that let you suck on their titties. And that is the platonic ideal of friendship, if you ask me. It's like, I don't really like to hang out with dudes that much. Like, girls are just, you know what I mean? I have like my
Wait, core. You don't like to hang out with guys?
I have my core of like my boys, you know what I mean? And then it's like, you know, through comedy I've met like, you know, like people that I connect with and I'll fucking chill with them. But it's like,
just say you don't like hanging with comics, bro. I think that's what you're trying to say.
No, I think, no, just
you
like,
watch Love on the Spectrum, you don't need it in your life. That's fine.
Yes, absolutely. I'd like to make more eye contact than comedians afford. No, I'm not making any new 30-year-old friends that don't do comedy. You know what I mean? Like, in what situation do I bump into a guy and I'm like, you're fucking chill, bro?
That was a good talk we had. Huh? You want to do this again?
Yeah. But hang out with a girl. It's just like I like being around. Like women are better. They're nicer. You know what I mean? Like they have higher emotional intelligence. They smell better. Like everything's better. Yeah. And if you want to fuck them,
higher emotional intelligence, you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, go on now.
They read you a little better. You know what I mean? I'll hang out with my fucking best friends in the world, right? Yeah. And we haven't seen each other for months. I've been on the road, whatever. Yeah. And then, like, my buddy was telling me this story where he was like, yeah, I got back, my buddy Eldest, who's my fucking, we've been friends since kindergarten, and he would go back, and his girlfriend would be like, hey, so how's Stav doing? And he's like, pretty good, I guess, you know what I mean? Like, she's like, what's going on with the tour? Like, is he too busy? He's like, yeah, we didn't really talk about it that much, And then he's like, well, what about his brother? I hear he's getting married. He's like, oh, yeah, I guess he is, like... We're calling each other gay. Yeah. We're watching fucking John Wick. Yeah. You know what I mean? We're getting high as shit, and we're ordering $300 worth of Chinese food. That's what we're doing,
This sounds like the perfect friendship. And that's high emotional intelligence.
But that's great, and I got that in my life, but I want somebody to ask me how my day's going. And mean it, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Do you guys want to say it, or should I just say it?
Please do.
In unison? Can I become... We're about to become best friends with you. You ready?
Yeah. I'm gay. I love the support of women. What can I say? I'm a homosexual. Yeah. And so what I'm saying is when you find someone that you're cool with and you're friends with, and then she's also like, hey, like my boyfriend's cool if I fuck my friends. I'm like, sick. You know what I mean?
Hold on. This has happened a lot? Like
It is honestly happening a surprising amount.
Are you like a fetish?
Maybe, yeah, I think so. I think, like, there is a type...
Yo, Al, why are you laughing at that?
I think so.
I've never heard a guy be called a fetish.
Why do you have to call black guys are fetishes sometimes?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
To, like, to hurt a racist father's feelings? Come on, that's one of the most classic moves there is.
Once you go through all the black guys...
You want to...
And then you get Ron Jeremy.
If you want Ron Jeremy, but you don't want all that cock... You see this guy, you're like, that's going to do some damage. Let's see what we got at about a quarter size.
When you're sending the nudes, are you, like, having fun with it?
Oh, yeah, I'm having a blast.
Okay. No, meaning, like, are you sending funny nudes? Or are you trying to be sexy as possible?
I'm done being like, that's the other thing about, like, even when you fuck and you have to talk, it's like, I talk my entire life. Can I just bust?
Yeah, is this a podcast?
Is
this a fucking podcast?
I don't want to fucking,
I saw a clip of you on Santino's podcast, bro. It was so funny. And you're like, can I be honest with you? If podcasts didn't pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars, I would never fucking do this shit. I think nobody hates their success more than you.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it keeps working where you keep going, fuck this.
Yeah.
And then people just keep going, no, we want more of this.
I know. I'm negging my audience. You know what I mean?
That's how you fuck wives.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
No, I don't. That's the thing. I fuck wives because it's like they're past that. They're good, right? They don't need to be fucking negged anymore. They just want to have a good... Like, I fuck them because I'm a good time. I'm a great hang. You know what I mean? And it's also like, I'm rich, but I grew up poor, so I don't spend money. Like, I still have a roommate. Like, because he's one of my best friends, but still part of me is like, gotta keep fucking. So what I spend my money on is like, you want to come hang out? We'll get a $300 lunch.
Yeah, but like, do you think maybe you have a roommate because you just like someone else to be there when you fuck?
Oh, when I fuck, yeah.
Just fucking with you and a woman, that might be too weird.
Oh, interesting.
But if there's a guy...
There's some masculine energy in the I pick up his pheromones.
When you're telling the girl, like, yo, just call him honey or something.
I do like, it is a camaraderie thing, truly. Like, I am like fucking... Like, I don't think I want to be alone.
Wife?
Oh, the wife thing. No. I'm talking about roommate. No. See, that's the other thing. I'm not into the, like... I don't want him there. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, I thought you're all together.
No.
So what is he doing?
Just hanging. I don't know who the fuck he is. I've never met this guy. You know
what
I mean?
I thought that this
or
was like...
even sometimes I do, and it's like he's cool, and I'm like, you're fucking cool, dude. You know what I mean?
So when you meet them,
you're
at like dinner, or you're meeting them out to like drink, or you're meeting them at the house.
Okay, so Yeah, I mean, it's just a case-by-case basis, right? But like, usually we'll go out.
There's a few different packages. Like, you can do a deluxe.
Explain the deluxe.
The deluxe, okay, wow, the deluxe. Let's see.
I fuck your wife, I use your towel.
Yeah.
And then I go
these guys
home.
aren't cucks. These are people who are also getting pussy outside of their relationship, and then they're like, hey, you can also fuck, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care what you do. So, like, the thing is, I'm like...
It's still a cuck, bro.
You think so?
Because I think I have your village mentality.
Villager stuff, yeah.
Exactly.
I agree with you where it's like, it would be hard for me to like, if it was the love of my life, it would be really hard for me to be like, oh, you and Mark hung out?
Yeah.
It was pretty, how was his penis?
Yeah.
Was sucking his cock cool?
Or just hearing her out of breath.
Yeah.
Like, why are you
You know
like
what would be even worse? Yeah. Her hair is so fucked up. Yeah. She's whistling all day. She's in the best mood I've ever seen her in. Comes home, fucking leave it to Beaver. He's dicked down my wife so good, she's fucking making a casserole for the first time. Yeah, honestly, all the other parts, and just watching her like get ready would be so weird to me. Like, I am a little bit, but like, again, like I said, if this is somebody who I like, right, and we're just friends, and we really do vibe, and it's like, come over, we'll get a fucking nice dinner, we fuck, and then we just like hang, and then it's also like, so this has happened where it's like, I'll just like talk to them about my problems with women, and it's like the ultimate friendship.
She
where
can't
it's like,
say shit.
No, not only can she not say shit, she's happy for me.
Yeah,
like that's like the best friend possible. You know what I mean? Because it's just, she is taking something that just a man cannot offer. And if she's cool and she's hot and she's attracted to me, it's like, it's kind of like that, you know, I think we've all at times, it was like a little bit of a hack idea where it's like, oh, bro, if we could just all fuck each other, right? Like, I think everybody has that joke, the first, you know, in comedy where you're like, wouldn't it be cool if guys could fuck?
Yeah,
If we were gay, our lives would be so easy.
Fuck
and it's
comedy. Like, when we're 6, we're like, we're going to grow up.
Yeah.
We're going to have one big house.
Yeah.
I don't think we talk about fucking at all.
Yeah. It's just the vibe. So it's if you can then replace a guy with just a hot girl, you've done that. You've taken what gay guys have, the one thing they have.
You miss the tribe, bro.
Huh?
You miss the tribe.
You gotta have the best of both worlds. It's both though, you know, you dip in and out. But yeah, I think honestly, it's great, and it's like it's awesome. I love the amount of hilariously undeserved pussy I've been getting just the last couple years. It's so fun.
Has it ever got hairy though? Like, not the pussy, but like
hairy, hairless,
like,
whatever.
Like a relationship where like there's fallout, where like, oh, like there was a feelings thing, or like the guy got pissed.
No, I don't think so. I think like that's the other thing. It's like, I mean, I'm like, sometimes this happens when I'm visiting a city. That's the other nice thing. It's like, it's also the like, when you're on the road, it's just like, people know what's up. You're not going to have a relationship. It's like, it's a fun night. You know what I mean? And there's a little bit of that too. And I think like, that's going back to the fetish thing. I think there might be like I mean, there definitely is a type of person that's attracted to a fat guy that believes in himself. That's definitely out there.
Yeah.
And especially because there seems to be like a...
What do they look like?
Huh?
What do they look like?
I mean, they are pretty hot. I mean, it's just like it depends.
But is there like a specific like character trait that they have?
There's really not. I think it's more of a psychological thing.
Really?
Yeah, and it's also like it's
any
like
cuts or anything like that. Do they have
signs of trauma? Yeah.
Loud noises scare them.
No,
like,
yeah. No, all the they hide the PTSD pretty well. As far as I can tell. But yeah, obviously, just like I am, it's like their brains aren't correct. Mine, you know what I mean? Like mine isn't. Like the guy's like, sick. I get to fuck someone's wife. You know what I mean? Like, and you just make like that's like I'm fucking fucked.
You make the justification afterwards.
It's the fucked up puzzle. It's like like at a certain point you're like, well, I'm never fixing this damage,
dude. You know
what I mean? It's like I just need to find people that whatever fucked us up. It's like we just click. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do. Once you're 30, it's like I'll go to therapy, but let's be honest, I'm not fixing myself.
You're baked.
Really. Yeah,
you're just gonna find out why you're fucked.
Yeah.
It's just I'm so glad we were talking before the podcast because like before the podcast, you were you're a big socialist and you were breaking down like the philosophy behind it, and you were making these really convincing points. But now I'm just like I think you just want people to share their wives.
Yeah. We need a communal wife
pool. For too long, the top 1% biggest cocks have got 99% of the pussy, and it's time to redistribute pussy.
Ass.
Bro,
was crushing the points. He was talking about the public school system and politicians and business. And now I get what it really is.
It's an ethos for sure, and everywhere.
Yeah, because you're consistent through and through until you get married.
Until I get married, then
until you get
then
rich.
I become a pussy Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now.
You would
right
have
now
more
I'm
fun
pussy
alt-right.
Mao Zedong.
If you go alt-right, I think you'd have more fun. You know
if
what
I went
mean?
alt-right?
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to just do that because they don't respect, you know what I mean? You don't have to respect women at all. It's just like, you know. But, no, the thing is, though, no one's letting you fuck. You have to worry about getting your ass kicked if you fuck an alt-right guy's wife. But if you stay on this part of the political spectrum, it's like with poly people, it's like you can fuck someone's wife and they'll like recommend like a Steely Dan album to you afterwards. You know what I mean?
What'd you fuck her do? Huh? What'd you fuck her do? Where were you listening to?
I'm a no music. Oh yeah. Sorry.
Steely Dan, dude.
Yeah, no guns in the
Throw
house.
the Dan. Yeah.
You know, Mark is also a very big liberal cock.
There we go.
No, Mark, big socialist.
Yeah, big time.
Big time socialist.
Love it.
Not actually.
No.
I think I would say I'm economically undecided.
Economically undecided.
Yeah,
but socially liberal, economically on the fence.
Yeah, just
you're waiting to see like what kind of raise Schulz gives you.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of spot on the money. Yeah, we got to see it. Yeah. We might unionize.
I think I should give some to you and then maybe some to the other people.
But why would we have to do that?
Right?
What is even the
just
point
spread it around.
Why is that helpful to anyone?
I'm just saying, like,
why don't you let me spread it?
Advantages.
How about you let me spread it?
Well, maybe I don't trust you to spread it, and maybe we should have a governing body spread it.
That would be great if I trickled down. Yeah. Just give it to me. I would love to come here and just you guys unionize. Just turn on Schulz.
Do you want to lead our union?
Yeah.
How would you unionize us? What would be like the strategy?
You look like a union boss, right?
Old school. Yeah. I do love the aesthetics of crooked politicians. That is kind of my whole vibe. It's like just fucked up, you know, just like a no-show job. You know what I mean? Like the union delegate thing. I don't know. Let's see. Let's start. I mean, it seems like this is a pretty sick, you know, first of all, everyone gets their own NBA jam. It's not for the, you know, not just communal. You
exactly.
You get to take one home.
That sounds awesome.
You know what I mean? And then you get the,
Mark this day.
Yeah.
The day Flagrant split up. The fucking Yoko Ono.
Yeah. You guys think Akaash is on vacation? I have him kidnapped and waiting until he agrees with my demands.
Your boys with, I don't know if you're boys, but I saw you roasting Hassan.
That's my guy. Yeah.
So Hassan, I always hit up when something happens in the news that looks like so blatantly, how do I phrase it? It looks too easy to make the argument for the right.
Yeah.
So I hit up Hassan. I'm like, what am I not seeing here?
Yeah.
Because he'll usually have it. And if he doesn't have anything, I'm like, okay, then we're good. He's like my fact checker.
He's great. Yeah.
But he's fucking talented.
He's the best.
Because I was watching, sometimes I'll watch like some of the streams or whatever like that. And it's a different muscle to just talk.
Totally.
For fucking 4 hours.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell. I saw him eating like dinner once on.
Yeah,
and I was like, there could be a break here.
It's crazy. No, I know. I hop on like those Twitch streamers are just on there for like 10 hours a day. And it's like this constant thing. And I mean, he'll just fucking watch shit, he'll go through like a YouTube thing, or it's literally educational sometimes. But I went on a stream last time and it's like,
I found out about him because he started out kind of bashing a clip that we made, not knowing that we were agreeing with him.
Oh, hilarious.
So it's a really funny clip because he starts with, here's the Schulz smoke. Yeah. You guys have been waiting for this. This guy ain't shit. Mark's a smart, whatever. And then we just start agreeing with everything. And he's like, why don't you guys fucking tell me what the fuck is going on? They're making good points here. This is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But no, I like him. I think he's like,
Yeah, he's the only problem. He is Turkish, which is an issue. But other than that, he's a great guy.
Who likes the Turks?
Not the Armenians, I'll tell you that much.
I thought they worked that whole thing out. Like they agreed it didn't happen. And
yeah.
Isn't that the agreement?
We'll put it under the rug. Yeah. It is so funny.
You don't have to say rug.
Yeah. It is funny because Greek people still are like, it's just like this rivalry from the 1800s. Yeah. It's just like they still don't fuck with Turks. But
it's sports.
We're bringing it together. Yeah, it really is.
Like historically, are you aware why you don't fuck with the Turks?
Yeah, I mean the Ottoman Empire took over Greece and fucking I think it was the 1400s, and then Greece got their independence in 1821.
But didn't the Ottoman Empire kind of like let everybody do their thing?
A little bit, depending on like Greece stayed Christian, like they kept their own, whatever. Albanians went fucking Muslim or whatever, and like certain other places did.
They folded, bro?
Yeah, they folded. Yeah, they folded.
They look back at you and they're like, "Fuck, we could have kept our names."
Yeah, I think part of it was they didn't want to pay taxes or something. I think it was like literally, yeah. I think the Ottoman Empire allowed you to not.
You had to pay the tax.
If you went Muslim, it was like, all right, well, you're one of us, whatever.
Yeah.
But one thing Hassan actually told me is that, which is fucking hysterical, is that Turks still to this day, you can get out of military service, but you have to prove you're gay. and by the way, they don't count the guy who fucks
as gay.
They don't count tops as gay. They're like real old world with it. And I was reading this article, it's so fucking funny. They were asking the guy, because he had like a beard, and they were like, do you ever wear women's clothing? And they were like these motherfuckers do not understand what being gay is. And they wanted him to send a picture of him wearing makeup and women's clothing.
That's all it is.
And he was like, that's not what being gay is. He was like, will you let me send a picture of me kissing a man? And they were like, we'll accept that. And there's like a doctor who has to look at the pictures and decide if you're gay enough not to be in the military.
There's no tongue. There's no tongue. Fucking straight as hell.
It's so fucking sick. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Fuck, we were talking about like the most homophobic cultures, how they're kind of the gayest. And
They're
I'm sure
absolutely the gayest.
There's like a bit about this somewhere.
Because the idea of fucking a man is so outrageous
that you could hold hands walking down the street,
hands,
like you could
cuddle.
kiss, you could do whatever.
Yeah.
Because of course none of you guys are gay.
Yeah.
Cuddle? Yo, literally.
I'm not joking.
In a lot of cultures, like there's so much more male affection because those cultures don't have a lot of male to female affection.
Yeah.
So they're looking for the touch. They just want people to be more tactile.
And by the way, we're saying like, oh, it's so foreign to them. They're also like 100% molesting boys.
That's another good point that he brought up.
They are
That's another good point.
That is
the Greek guy would know.
Yeah. Hey, that's in the past. Separate the artist from the art.
Why don't you say that?
Yo! Have you done that bit?
Yeah, I'm working on a bit where it's like
fucking funny.
Where it's like, well, listen, if I can't listen to R. Kelly, then you can't do geometry. because
Michelangelo, Bernini, like Bernini's Italian, right? But all these guys had
Pythagoras, all these motherfuckers. Like you would teach a kid math and then suck him off.
Don't do that fucking thing where you pronounce it right.
I'm sorry.
Do you know
Pythagoras?
Pythagoras. You motherfucker. Did you just do the marinara?
I didn't mean to. I try not to. I say gyro. I don't go gyro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I try. Okay. It was just so in my head.
But that's a great fucking bit. We use not only the math, but we appreciate the art of all these dudes that were like banging
100% fucking kids. Where do we draw the line?
You could use Pythagoras' theorem to draw that line. You could use it.
Yeah. He actually, the angles were little boys' assholes.
It's acute.
You're going to be obtuse when I'm done with you.
All right, this was like some real good nerd comedy.
Yeah. Nerd and child rape. You never. That Venn diagram. The middle is not that big. You don't see Dimitri Martin talking about fucking children in antiquity.
Bro, what a great idea though. Yeah, a certain amount of time goes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild. I mean, they would go. I mean, and like in the Middle East, they're still doing that shit, which is fucking hilarious.
And they just don't count it.
Doesn't count. I mean, you hear about like vets who would come back and be like, these warlords are fucking kids.
Yeah.
And they're like, we are not on the right side. Like they're just like for multiple reasons. Like I mean, we don't have to get into the war. No, I don't think anyone here is like pro Iraq war.
Yeah. We're not pro war.
Yeah. But it is funny for so many reasons why it was a mistake. But yeah, I mean, they love to fucking be homophobic, misogynistic, and then just fuck boys. It's a wild. Usually that happens a lot. So We're past it now, though. Greeks are over it. Now
when did you guys stop?
Now they're just about, like, I would say 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a point. They wouldn't let us get the 2004 Olympics until we stopped.
Oh, yeah. Don't get these 5 rings unless they keep theirs.
No, now they're just sexually harassing women. Big time.
They're into that?
Yeah, big
Well,
time.
this is the evolution.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
The American girls that show up?
Oh, the tourists, big time. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second because I got to tell y'all about SeatGeek, okay? Today's app is sponsored by them, and if you didn't know already, SeatGeek is a ticketing app that makes buying tickets super simple. We've got the app on our phones right here, by far and away the best way to buy tickets. So they put all the tickets from all over the internet into one place to make buying simple, okay? From sports to concerts to festivals, comedy shows, they're all on SeatGeek. I saw Ed Sheeran bought on SeatGeek. I saw the Yankees bought on SeatGeek. I'll never admit I was at a baseball game, but I was, okay? All I'm saying is you can see whatever you want. You just go to SeatGeek and you get those tickets. SeatGeek also wants to make sure you're getting a good deal. So when you're on the app, look for the green dots. Green means it's a good deal. Red means it's bad. Don't worry, by the way, we've got the hookup. Use the code FLAGRANT for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with the promo code FLAGRANT. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. And let's get back to the show. All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second because I got to help you with your crypto. I know you're worried. I know the market's reeling, but let me tell you something. Now is the time to buy if you're ready to be a multi-fucking-crypto millionaire in the future. And if you're going to buy, you're going to do it with Exodus. That's the one-stop shop all your crypto needs. Simple as that. I know you're like, oh, what is Exodus this place where they only store your crypto and you can only buy crypto on the internet? No. They got the hard wallets, too. Yank that shit right off the internet. Walk around the streets with it, okay? Make a keychain out of it. Do whatever you want to do with your crypto. They stake. You could buy. You could store NFTs. You could do absolutely everything that you need for your crypto needs at Exodus. And they're going to do some good shit for you. Right now, they're going to do a zero-fee promotion. That's right. You don't have to pay any fees when you're buying your crypto. Think about that. You're getting crypto for the actual price of crypto. All you got to do is go to exodus.com/0. That's it. You just go to exodus.com/0. You get started at exodus.com/ZERO. I'm telling you, you can purchase Bitcoin, Litecoin, Solana, and many other crypto assets at the very true cost with no fees added. Now let's get back to the show.
Yeah, my cousin is a fucking hilarious guy. There's a generation,
This is
of
a
like,
fun segue.
There's a generation of people in Greece that's like when the financial crisis happened, it was like, if you're anywhere between like 40 and like, I don't know, in your fucking 20s now, it's like, there just were no jobs. Like, you just didn't have shit to do. There was nothing to do. So my cousin was like, I think he trained as a chef. Couldn't get any, like, didn't really like it, but couldn't really get any high-end, like, because Greece is so tourism-based anyway, that, like, chef is a great job. His brother-in-law was a chef. He was going to hook him up. Couldn't really get any jobs, didn't like it. And then he was like, fuck it. And just for, like, 8 years, he would work at a bakery sometimes when he felt like it. And then he would just go to an island where it's all party, like just a party fucking island, sleep in a tent, bar back at a fucking metal bar, and just fuck tourists for 4 months. And he was like, I'm going to make money. And he would, every time he would have to ask his father for the boat ride back, the ticket for the boat ride back. Like, he made no money, and he just lived a sick life for
happiest guy you know.
I mean, and he fucking he actually, it's really funny. He got into then he went to acting school because he was like, well, why not? No one's getting a job anyway. And then he just like went, like, this is how small show business is in Greece. He was just like he just went to like an audition, and there was like fucking 10 guys there, and it was like for one of the biggest like live comedy theaters in the country. The guy liked him, and he's just like set now. He really fucking finessed life, honestly. He was just getting his dick sucked by 22-year-old Australians for 6 years, and now he's just
became an actor.
Yeah, now
it's usually the opposite.
That's true. He really put the work in first. He was like,
what happened with the Greek economy?
I mean, really, I mean, you know, in the crux of it, it's like, they took out a loan. It was, honestly, it was kind of like what happened with the fucking financial crisis here, the mortgage crisis here, where it was like they were giving loans that they knew people couldn't pay. And as long as the bank didn't ask for it, it was never a big deal. And then once the economy started faltering a little bit and they wanted Greece's money back, they were like, well, we don't have it. And the fucking irony is they've paid.
These are loans from what, the IMF or something like that?
No. This is like fucking like hedge
right?
funds. Yeah.
Oh,
like,
they were getting
international
private loans from just banks?
They got fucked by it. They got sold out by the government made mistakes, right? Taking these loans, like the center-right party in Greece. And then they asked for their money back. And the irony is, like, just like how debt completely fucks people in this country, we saw that in Greece where it was like writ large, where it was like they paid back the money over, like it's the interest that fucked them. So it's just to keep these banks bottom lines good. An entire generation of Greek people are fucked, and it's like that's why we should burn down hedge funds and that kind of thing.
Now, wasn't there something like? And again, I forget exactly the article I was reading, but like 50% of people were employed by the state in some way.
Yeah.
Like there was just like a bloated.
Totally. And listen, don't get me wrong. Greeks love to have a good time. Yeah. Like there was a lot of fucking, they didn't pay taxes. Like, I had people in my family who just like had 2 jobs that just, I won't say who it is, not that anyone will be able to fucking trace it, but he was like, he literally was like a carpenter for the government somehow, and he would just he would work the night shift, sleep in his office, and then just wake up and go to his regular job. And he just was like, and then sometimes he wouldn't go to his regular job. He was just like, it's a culture that loves to fuck around. Yeah. No one was paying taxes. Yeah. Everyone's taking naps in the middle of the day. Yeah. But you know what? That's living, baby. That's how you want to live.
Oh, but this is what we were talking about before the pod, is it like, when you've existed for thousands of years, you start to like refine your culture into the things that like give you joy. Yeah. And toiling away at a factory doesn't exactly give you joy. And I think the Greeks kind of figured it out. The Spanish have figured it out. Like
have
all
coffee for 8 hours. There's no Greek Gary V's. You know what I mean? There's no.
Well, there used to be though. They built civilization, and then they're like, we can take a break.
Take a break.
Yeah.
After you realize, but you first got to build it. Like, and that's what we're talking about America. Like right now we're hustling. Right now the Gary V works here. Like we work here. Like you're hustling your fucking ass off. Like, and I want to talk more about like your plan and how you put out the special. Like. It works in America because everybody's here to grind, but I do think that we'll eventually evolve culturally to a point where we are similar to Europeans that we make fun of now.
Yeah. Well, hopefully. I mean, I also think there's just like...
Oh, yeah, that's if you stay intact. That's if you don't get invaded and taken over and have your culture change for you. Like, you get to be France, you get to be Italy, you get to be Greece, where you go, you know what, we should really focus on this cheese. And be proud of this cheese.
I'm working 4 months out of the year.
But it's also like, and what we were talking about earlier is like those cultures all knew tyranny, right? Like they had to break free from like kings, like they were working forever, and it's like, we're doing that now. Like, what's the difference between an Amazon warehouse and a fucking fiefdom? You know what I mean? It's like so you're like not pissing in, you're pissing in a water bottle and packing Fitbits for, you know what I mean, for Black Friday. Is that really that different than like fucking picking turnips all day?
So like milling buckwheat.
I'm gonna say yes, but I agree with your point. It's entirely different, but I agree with your point. But specifically the transition from tyranny to like, I'm gonna grind.
Well, they had to like, what I'm saying is they had to like blood, like there was wars. People died over this shit, right?
Of course, and here too.
Yeah.
Right? But I think what happens is like immediately after there being one person in charge of everything, right? I think once you get your freedom, you want to exercise it to the biggest, to like the most that you possibly can, right? You start going, what can I do and what can my family do? Because you couldn't do shit before. And I think you start thinking about self. And I think in America, there's this thought about like, it's just, we have a term, it's just business. What does that mean? I could fuck you over because it's just business. Right. I can be an asshole because
there's no baseline human decency.
Morality goes out the window because it's business.
Well, I also think there's like there's a really good branding of the American dream that just like, honestly, I think doesn't exist. Like,
I disagree with you so
I know,
much
but I just think statistically, like you're way more likely to die in the fucking tax bracket, socioeconomic bracket that you were born in than you are to move upwards in America. It's just true. Most people die where they start. And and in fact, I mean, this is a long time ago. I stopped being smart 10 years ago. So, like, I dropped out of college my senior year, and I haven't read a book that's not like bullshit since then. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't read a book that's not like a crime, like about the mafia. You know what I mean? Since then.
American dream.
Truly. But it's just like, statistically, you just like, we don't have that shot necessarily. Like, individuals do, but it's not like if you work hard, you're not guaranteed. And I fully do believe that. It's like, you know, you give yourself a much better chance.
There you go.
You give yourself a much better chance, but it's like the idea that like, you know, the working class votes against their you know, their interests because they're like, well, when I'm a billionaire, and it's like, buddy, it ain't happening.
Okay.
You might make 70 grand instead of 40.
Yeah.
But like the difference between you and a billionaire is like the difference between, you know, like it's fucking crazy.
100%. Now, remove yourself from it a little bit. You're creating an idea that people should live through. You're creating like culture.
Yeah.
You're creating an ethos. And you want people to operate a certain way in society. We need kind of rules, but we also need beliefs, right?
Yeah.
And if religion isn't the motivating force in society, and unfortunately maybe money is.
Yeah.
In order for people to like go work and not just steal from their neighbor, don't they kind of have to believe that one day, if they do work hard, that they could potentially get this thing? Isn't that better than them believing, hey, you got no shot? Because if I got no shot,
right,
I'm going to shoot somebody.
right.
I got no shot. Like,
right.
And don't get me wrong, it benefits those billionaire dudes you're talking about because it's like, as long as they can keep going, hey, be hopeful, be hopeful.
You could be me.
I'm not gonna murder you.
Right.
But once you tell me there's no chance, I mean, Jeff Bezos can't be on a boat. If you're telling all of us, 300 million people, we can't, and he has it, and Elon's not selling me electric cars.
But see, I'm with you, but what we're talking about then is just like, is what we're selling.
Tactic, right?
Because in my opinion, that's what's going on. You know what I mean? For the vast majority of people.
I guess you're right. I guess it's like, let's say we all know that.
Yeah.
What would we still tell people? Would we rather tell them this that gets them from 40 grand to 70 grand, even if it's a little bit of a lie? Or would we rather tell them the opposite, which makes them stay at 40 and maybe even goes below? Like,
yeah. I guess to me, it's an idea of like, we don't have to tell them shit. The world is what we have the most resources in the history of mankind. Let people go to school for free.
Yep.
Let people fucking go to the doctor. Like if you get cancer, you know, you shouldn't have to fucking mortgage your, you know, put a second mortgage on your house if like somebody gets sick in your family. Let people go to the doctor, give people childcare, cover their basics, and then it's like, you know, go get a fucking part-time job and you're good. You know what I mean? You have the basics covered.
Yeah.
And it's like, because there is more, like what we were talking about, there's more to life than this pursuit of fucking money where it's like, there's the baseline humanity shit where it's
I agree with
just have a good-ass time. There is, that's and let's get European with it. Like, go drink coffee with your boys for 4 hours.
But that's the thing, not everybody has the privilege of growing up in an ancient city with ancient culture. Like that's also a privilege. Like you're growing up and there's a cheese shop down the block that makes cheese. Yeah. They've been doing that for thousands of years. And like you're like, oh, I like that cheese. In St. Louis, you grew up in the hood in St. Louis. It's like, what is the thing you're enjoying on a Sunday? Right? Like you're not looking at this beautiful bridge that was built in the fucking 12th century.
I'm with you. I see what you're saying, but I also think like the fact that there is that, the fact that that exists in St. Louis is the failures of what this country was 100 years ago, or like, you know what I mean?
You think we should have built those things already?
What I'm saying is like, like we're like, the reason all that inequality exists is because like, you know, look at what happened with the GI Bill, and it's like, white people got it, black people didn't. Look what happened with the redlining. Bill? The GI Bill after like World War II. Where it's like you know what I mean? It's like, or redlining, where it's like, we had like, there's so much hopelessness because just the way our society was, like the architecture and the structure was you know what I mean? 100%. So it's like, let's get to a baseline and not equality, because equality, it's like equity is what you want, where it's like everyone has a fucking,
everybody has a chance.
Everyone has a real, a fair shot at it, right?
I think that's where a lot of these ideas get misconstrued, is I think you're just going, hey, can't we make it so everyone has a chance? And a lot of people ignore the fact that there is that inequity, and that some people don't even have a chance.
Exactly.
Like, if everybody had a chance and there were some people that were lazier, you would just go, yeah, that motherfucker's lazy.
He's a fucking piece of shit. You know how many people, like, I grew up in Baltimore in Greektown. It's like, some of those motherfuckers aren't getting out of Greektown. You know what I mean? You know how many fucking failed DJs I know? You know how many fucking promoters? It's like, what I'm saying is that guy should be able to be a fucking loser. And if he gets fucking melanoma, he can get it looked at. And that's all I'm saying.
And if you're one of the work your ass off grind dudes,
then
you actually want complete equity because it proves that you're the truth.
100%. Yeah. And
if you're worried about an equal playing ground, you're worried that you might have not done it by yourself.
Yeah.
Which nobody does it by themselves. I hate that idea.
It's
in general.
impossible.
Like everybody needs luck. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs a team, etc. But like, if you're one of these guys who's like, I grind and I do it, just level the playing field.
Totally. And that's the thing. It's like you'll have a fucking, then you can, and then it'll be easier to actually try. Like, you know, I got lucky in a lot of ways where it's like I was healthy when I was doing comedy. Like I could afford to, like, you know, I lived in a fucking windowless room for $400 and like nothing bad happened to me. Nothing bad happened to my family. And it's like, you know, and I was able to eke by, but it's like, what if something didn't happen? You know what I mean? What if my buddy fucking sprained his ACL and just had to move out of New York because he couldn't get up and down the fucking stairs. And it's something that fucking simple. And it's like, and then he's set back for like, you know, that's 3 years he's got to make up. Whereas like, if you were rich and that happened to you, it's like you go to the doctor immediately. You fuck it. You know what I mean? Like you probably live in a building with an elevator. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's such simple shit that we're talking about. And it's like, that's the thing. We're gonna have losers. Like most, you know what I mean? Like that's how the bell curve works in kind of
You're basically like, I want to call them losers, but I'm not sure yet.
No, I love shitting on people.
I want to shit on more.
I just want the ability to shit on them. You know what I mean? Where it's like let them have a comfortable life. It's like that's the thing.
It's like why we can shit on athletes.
Because
we know. Exactly. These are the rules.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing by these same rules. And you stunk today.
You were dog shit. And it's fun to be able to say that. It's like your life is so much better than mine. You're taken care of. I'm not really, you know, fucking with you. And then what it really comes down to is that like what we're talking about, and this is maybe where we differ, where it's like, I do think we should just tax these fucking ultra billionaires because these people have a fucking disease.
Is anybody against that though? That's what I don't understand.
I think they are. Even
like people are against taxing them. I just feel like people don't understand how they avoid taxation. And if they did it, because it's kind of complex.
Super complex.
Yeah, but if they did understand it, I think that they'd be at their homes with pitchforks.
People that get
that's
kickbacks.
What I'm saying.
What are you saying?
If you get kickbacks from billionaires, then you are against it.
Oh, yeah. The people that are benefiting off of them are being paid to shut the fuck up.
Right.
But the average person that's like voting against their interests, what you're saying, doesn't realize that these like billionaires, they don't pay themselves a salary. They take loans against their stock. They find ways to not.
Of course.
And if they knew that, they'd be like, hold on, I'm getting taxed on 40 grand and this motherfucker's not getting.
Well, it's that one of my favorite videos when Bernie went on Fox News and all the fucking bullshit centrist Democrats were like, you shouldn't do that. That's the enemy. And it's like, he's up there at Fox News, and within 2 questions, people are applauding. Because he's just like these fucking... Because
they realize,
they're like,
oh, shit.
Oh, we do need health care. I have been... My employer has fucked my ass. You know what I mean? And it's and it's just... That's what I mean is like, I'm not fucking smart. I don't even consider myself a political guy. I just think like, these ideas are so simple where it's
you're
like...
sharp. I think you're underselling yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
Sharp.
No, it's like, I'm not a fucking academic by
But you went to
stretch.
school for, you were telling me, like, for public policy. Like, you're also not bullshitting. Like, the things you're saying, you know what you're talking about.
But I dropped out, and most of my brain has gone to talking about my penis. I've gotten very good at talking about my penis.
Which it is a public policy.
Absolutely. It's a public good. Gals, if you're out there.
This is like Central Park.
I wonder what would have happened if they, I mean, like the Democratic establishment, like allowed Bernie to win. Because I really wonder if Trump would have beaten Bernie.
It would have been an awesome. I think he would have, because I think Bernie would have won. Obviously.
Yeah, because I don't know what Trump could bully Bernie about.
You couldn't, because he's not. There is nothing. He just his beliefs are not. That's what I admire about the guy more than anything is like. You know, I had kind of checked out of politics, honestly. I was like very disillusioned with Obama, a horrific president. And when you look at what he actually did, and it was like, and obviously I was 18.
He's going for it, baby.
Well, he was. Like, I mean, like, look what happened. He got worked by the Republicans on like Obamacare sucked dick. Is anybody happy with Obamacare? There was no.
Al?
I think some people are.
There was
it's better than not having.
But it was a Republican policy. That Mitt Romney created it. That was his idea.
Barely a Republican, though.
Yeah. But you know what? It was a. How about
what
this?
Republican creates health care for the state?
Huh?
Like,
that was his big idea.
It was
that
Massachusetts or whatever it was.
The Mass thing.
It was
So but the whole idea was he wasn't like. Where we need the fucking, like, single payer is so simple because it's like, cut out these fucking leech
oh, he was too pussy to go for a single player.
And not
so
just
it's
single,
like,
but he didn't even have like a public option. So essentially, what Obamacare was like, hey, the way we're going to solve this is by everybody buying private health insurance, and it's like that didn't fix anything. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, more people are covered, but it's like by the end of it, like I had Obamacare. It was fucking expensive as shit.
Yeah.
And it didn't cover dog shit. You know what I mean? It's like it's like the whole thing is a fucking scam. And he got worked by the Republicans, even though he had like a fucking super majority, whatever. And then it's like you look at his foreign policy, it's like he's bombing fucking.
You guys
know,
both hate weddings a lot. That's
Yeah.
You and Obama both.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Yeah.
But he listens to Outkast, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Lil Wayne's his favorite rapper.
Yeah,
And it's
his
like
iPod's awesome.
And it's like, and listen, I fucking love the guy. I was like, I kept waiting. I was like, here it comes. He's gonna do
a
something.
lot of us felt
you know?
like that,
Yeah, but I think like you're
I was
so
like,
engaged.
second term, he's gonna come.
He just needs to get that second.
And then,
Three-pointer was crazy.
and then it's like, bro, the second he's out of office, he's hang gliding with a fucking billionaire. He's with Richard Branson or whatever.
Who else is he gonna hang with? That's where I have everything. It's like he's just gonna hang with his friends in Hawaii.
Don't take the pictures. You know what I mean? Like, have the
that's
decency
true.
to lie to us.
Zuckerberg
You know what I
on
mean?
the surfboard. It's like, you took it, asshole. He thought that was a good picture.
Yeah.
There's no paparazzi in the ocean.
Yeah.
Who could have taken it? It's you and your security guards and your girl. Like,
Well, that's the other thing. Another thing I talk about all the time is that I don't respect any billionaires whose name I know. You know what I mean?
because you want motherfuckers to know.
be on an island,
But
enjoy the money. But that's what I'm saying. It's not about that. It's about feeling like you're the fucking man.
Yes.
They want to be, you know what I mean?
100%. I also do think that there are certain people whose company they've become the mascot of.
Sure.
So, like, for their company's success, they also, like, Elon doesn't have to do any fucking advertising on NBC because he's tweeting and it's more effective. So he's like, okay, this is cheaper. Me being the mascot is cheaper. He also probably
there's a
likes to be
psychology
proud
to
of
that, right? Yeah, exactly.
100%. But yeah, that's a tricky thing about, I don't know, like I try to like judge like a president, I guess, within like the expectation I have for them. Like I don't really expect any of them to do anything.
That is part of his problem is that he set the bar so high for what you were expecting. It's like the opposite.
He was convincing with the
yeah.
spiel, whereas like everyone else, I'm like, I never thought Biden would do anything.
Yeah.
It's like, I understand.
Biden is hilarious because it's like his whole career is so funny because it's like he's the senator from the shittiest state, Delaware. Who gives a fuck about Delaware? And then it's and then it's like he's the like he goes to bat for the crime bill. Like he's just like he's calling black teenagers super predators. And then like when they need someone that they're like, hey, Obama, we need a running mate where like racist white people will be kind of cool with. And he's like, Joe. And he got caught plagiarizing JFK speeches like 4 times. Like it's like he didn't stop once. It kept happening, and he kept doing it like more and more into the future, where it's even easier to detect. And then Hillary Clinton is so bad at running for president that the Democrats are just like, all right, Joe, you get to be president now. It's like they looked around. They were like, Bernie's got real support, and that's okay. That's where the Obama point finishes, where it's like he clearly is the one who called all those fucking people. Like I think Bernie would have won if Buttigieg.
You think it was Obama?
I think it was the fucking. I mean, that's who is the like. I think whoever like that's who they called on to make the call is Obama. You know what I mean? Because it's like.
I can see that.
Where it's like he's the guy who's like, guys, get him. Because like he didn't endorse Biden. Obama stayed out of it. And then when it became clear that after South Carolina, when fucking Biden won, and like, I mean, February 2020 was like so hysterical. Because you felt like, I did anyway, I was like, is Bernie gonna fucking win? Because he was up. There's no pandemic. You know what I mean? Like, shit's going so good. And then it's March, and it's like, wait, what the fuck just Joe Biden? Like, I never thought Biden was. I was like, this is hilarious. Biden's fucking senile ass is running. And then it was like, you know, all the other ones, like, they ate themselves. Buttigieg's fake Obama ass, and just like, you know, who else was it? Liz Warren.
Where does Buttigieg even come from?
Dude, he was the mayor of.
I mean, is he CIA?
I don't know.
He was in the military. He was like, he's just one of those old school. Like, he is. Think about the SGA president at your high school. He's the purest, most distilled version of that, where he's somebody who's wanted to be president since he was fucking 5 years old. He's checked every box. He literally went to the army so that he could campaign on being in the army. He's not a guy who, does that look like you know what I mean? Like, and I wouldn't be surprised if he had some kind of like, you know, if it was if a little CIA shit was going on, because he literally was he was the mayor of a college town.
Explain
Notre Dame.
What like CIA shit.
Like
means.
Okay, like George.
I don't think the average person understands like the governmental influence. With certain agencies.
Well, if you look at like George, the dad, George H.W. Bush.
Yes.
Straight up in the CIA. But
break this down. Like, how does somebody go from the CIA or be kind of taken by the CIA and then be placed into positions of power?
Okay, so, it's just like you look, so he's a good example because it's like he doesn't really have, if you look at his political career, it's like he doesn't really have like that much. Before he's vice president, he's in the army and he's like, and obviously though that family is so like storied, which is like, his
very
dad,
wealthy family
from Connecticut, by the way, hilarious. They're like,
they're like these down
they're like,
Texans,
they're from New England, they're from Connecticut, fucking went to Yale, all that shit. Yeah. And then it's like, he was in the army during whatever, I guess World War II. I'm fucking hazy with that shit. And then it's just like, I think he's given some kind of title, but it's like, you look at his work, it's just like he was...
All right, guys, we're going to take a break from this podcast real quick. And don't skip this ad because we are partnering with Current, and they're helping us give back to Flagrant listeners. We are going to be giving away $5,000. Okay, that's 500 to 10 random listeners who sign up at current.com/flagrant. So go to current.com/flagrant or enter the code FLAGRANT in the app for a chance to win. The giveaway will end June 30th. Now, we all know banks can let us down. We all know banks can have these crazy interest rates. They could just not give out loans. There are plenty of situations where a bank has screwed you over in your life, okay? And you don't have to put up with it anymore. Banking is dominated by a bunch of old companies who don't put their customers first. Current was built to change that, okay? They built everything from the ground up with you in mind and with modern technology and security. And remember, Current wants to help us give back to you guys today. So we're going to be giving away that $5,000. 500 to 10 random people who use our code FLAGRANT. So go to download Current and use our code FLAGRANT or visit current.com/flagrant for a chance to win. Now remember, Current is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services provided by a Visa debit card issued by Choice Financial Group, member FDIC. The Current annual percentage yield is variable and may change at any time. Terms and conditions apply. Now let's get back to the show. All right, guys, we're going to take a break for a second. We got the beautiful blue light because we're throwing the blueies in and having a great old time, okay? A beautiful time. Blue Chew, best boner pill on the market. Same active ingredients as inside Cialis or Viagra, but this is the Chew. This is the one we rock with, and this is the one that we get busy with. The best boners in the business are coming from the Bluey. I'm saying you chew it up, chew it out. Simple as that. Happy wife, happy life, happy side chick, happy girlfriend, happy girl that doesn't even know that you're about to do it, but you're on a date. This is the one. This is the key to your joy right here, BlueChew.com, and you're going to get it for free. All you got to do is pay $5 shipping. BlueChew.com, promo code is FLAGRANT, and you get it for free. You only got to pay $5 shipping. This is a no-brainer, okay? You're welcome. I love you. Let's get back to the show.
I don't know. I read this. Well, I told you I stopped being smart 10 years ago. I read that book.
Confessions of an Economic Hitman?
No. It was like...
He's kind of a son of a bitch, though.
Who's John Perkin?
Yeah, it's like you do it for years and then profit off of like destroying these companies through these like massive like debt cycles that they put them in. And then you write the book about how it's fucked up to do it.
Yeah.
So you make money doing it.
Right.
And then you make money saying how fucked up it is.
But then also in the book,
fuck you,
also in the book, he's making him sound like James Bond, like himself. In the book, he's like, so I was a young intern, and this older executive comes into my office and grabs my knee and says, "I need you to make love to me," or some shit like that.
What the fuck does this have to do with Venezuela, buddy?
Yeah. Well, it's just like, but it's like, the CIA obviously has like a history of like going and like destabilizing, third world countries and all that kind of shit. They did it, the Cold War that happens all the time. Iran, you look at Iran where it was like they had a democratically elected the social democrat who wanted to nationalize oil. Fucking Britain that owned it, America that was getting, like, they didn't want that shit. So it's like they literally just fucking overthrow the guy. Yep. And Greece was the same way, where it's like we had a military junta in like 67 to 74. And it was only because we had a social democrat, and they were just like kind of nervous. He didn't really even do shit yet.
But they were worried that
the military basically what happened is the military was like, we don't like this guy. We're gonna fucking just take over. And America was just like, all right. And then years later, they're like, so what if it was a communist junta? And they're like, oh, we would have been in there in 30 seconds. You know? So it's just like, and so if you get those like, look, I don't know the exact.
The concept of an independent country is a lot more fragile than people think.
Totally.
It's like you think that you're Venezuela and you get to make all your own decisions, and you think that you're like Nicaragua, you get to make all your own decisions. You really get to make the decisions that the biggest country, most powerful country near you wants you to make.
Yeah, you have to get in where you fit in the whole system where it's
Isn't
like...
that kind of wild to think about? Like, like America is really the entire western part of the globe.
Yeah.
Because every other country, maybe Brazil has enough clout to kind of do some shit, but they can't go too far, I would imagine. Like, they can't just go straight up, we want China in here, do whatever you want.
Right.
Because anytime there is that influence from another superpower, all of a sudden, like, oh, that's weird, that president was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
totally. Every single time, a left-leaning, like, you know...
Look at Venezuela.
Exactly, Venezuela, anything, it's like, oh, it's like,
but
what
it's not
happened?
even his leanings, it's who he's... like who his cohorts are. It's like oh, Russia's getting in here, or oh, China's getting. So we just go, well, it's going to be uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, Venezuela's hilarious because it's like he just died of a very rare cancer. You know what I mean? It's like the CIA
calling China. A lot.
Yeah. The CIA has a cancer gun, bro. You know what I mean? Like they do. They have a heart attack gun. They have a cancer gun.
No, the heart attack gun is crazy. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Or like they put like
what?
I saw this on like a fucking meme, so I don't know. This is on. I saw it on iFunny. I don't know if it's completely effective.
Yes.
But like you basically, it's like shellfish poison.
Oh, this is our conspiracy lighting.
Oh, I love it.
They take like shellfish poison or some shit, and they put it on like basically inside a projectile, and they shoot, and then it like enters in their body and gives them a heart attack within like 30 minutes or something.
Yeah, I'm sure they got fucking ways to do like so many. They'll. I mean, they're definitely killing motherfuckers on the sneak left and right for sure. You know, but you know, I don't like. I'm too dumb to remember the exact ways that fucking George H.W. Bush, but like if you look it up and you look up his like career gaps and then when he gets to be
it looks like there was
vice president,
some influence.
Yeah, 100%. And you look at like his, and then it's just like you look at that shit and you're like, man, we don't have fucking control of anything. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
do we want it? This is the tough question I think for a lot of us, right? Because it's easy for us to sit down. We do this every single day on the podcast. Sit down, criticize people's decisions, etc.
Yeah.
But like one. Do we want to be making the decisions, like, and choosing the course of American history? And two, do we want to flip that every 4 years?
Yeah.
Or do we like knowing that there's some other people really making the big decisions? And every 4 years, we kind of get to put someone over there who gives us some hope, or we hate.
Right.
Is that easier for us to digest?
Is it easier to watch the theater?
Yeah.
See, that to me is, even that line of thinking is like, man, they got us. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but
like,
maybe.
But like, I absolutely think, like, is it going to be easier? No, but it's like, even you look at, like even you take away when I say people vote against their interests, but it's like, you just see that people, like for example, if the abortion ban comes into play, which it seems like, nobody wants that. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think that's coming into play, dog.
I think it will at the end of their session, but it's like, it's just like so much, and because of the way shit is gerrymandered, and because of the way, like, where you look at what most people in America actually want, it doesn't happen. So we have this horrible, like, worst of both worlds, where it's like, well, you voted for it. It's like, not really. Like, it's not really what people wanted. And I just think ultimately to be like, do we really want to make these decisions, is like one step away from being like, we should have a king. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't think, I just can't philosophically, you know what I mean?
I know it's hard for you to philosophically get there.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I'm not asking you to decide for you.
Right.
I'm asking what you think the majority of people, if they were honest with themselves, would say. Like, if they were truly, like, the way that we just ignored the whole Epstein shit, we made cute little T-shirts, but we didn't really demand anything. Right? We know who was on the flights.
Of course.
We didn't demand shit.
I know.
So
Rush Hour is too good to...
Like, we can say how we want something different, but at the end of the day, we're just like...
Yeah.
Like, we sit here, we complain, etc., I mean, we don't. We make jokes about it because we acknowledge that we're not actually trying to change the fucking world. We'll be hypocrites. If
I don't want a real job. I want to be able to get my dick sucked. I want
facts.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, it's like our behavior shows we see the fucked up shit happen.
Yeah.
And we go naughty.
Right.
But as long as life is pretty good.
Sure.
If life gets shitty, that's why I'm interested in what happens with like a recession. When life gets like really difficult, really fucked up, you don't think that...
We're close though.
No, it's happening.
Like, it's like, look at the infrastructure's crumbling. Like, that's the thing. It's like, they don't even have the decency to just give us health care. To give us roads, you know what I mean?
That's what happens. It's like when
that's
the
how
rich
greedy they've gotten.
But they always pay the price for that.
Yeah.
When the rich get too greedy, right, and the small person has nothing except rebellion, that's when the pitchforks come out. So it's like they're kind of pushing it, and you see these American cities that I'm not saying they were at once like the fucking flagship city in America, but like you see these places and you're looking and you're like, how the fuck is this America in 2022? This is unbelievable. You're on the road.
The rich have insulated themselves and protected themselves so much where it's like we can't do shit. Like, we don't even know, how can we affect them?
Yeah, Elon Musk is like, I don't have a house.
Yeah.
We're showing up to your house.
I'm homeless.
Good luck,
get off Twitter.
Where's my stimulus, bro?
No, I'm just saying, like, you can only push a group of people so far. And I think that they've kept us comfortable and distracted enough. And that is smart. But maybe with the recession, it gets to a point where you do see... I mean, you even saw it during the fucking pandemic when everybody's quarantined and we actually had to sit down for a second and realize what was going on. We're like, well, I'd like to protest. I don't care. What, Black lives, okay, I'm down with that. Asian people, let's protest. It was like, I'm angry, let's go. Then shit opened up and we were like, okay, we don't need to really protest that much.
They just got us mad at each other, though.
100%.
Like, I don't think we're ever going to look up. We're just going to be mad.
What gets us to look up?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah, because it's so cultural.
You need to fuck their wives, bro.
I will.
Dude.
You really want to change? What we need is if you, listen, if you get terminal cancer. Like,
don't do that.
Bleep it all out. I'm sorry.
This is exactly how that's going to play. If you get terminal cancer.
Beep, beep, beep. You know what has to be done. Beep, 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 beep. Cross-eyed motherfucker. But yeah, I don't know, dude. That's the thing. It's just like I don't. And I don't have. Obviously, I don't have any. I don't have any answers. But it is interesting to just like be like, damn. It's just like, can we get a little? Can it be a little better?
Well, it's better for you.
It's better for me.
You've been cooking.
I have.
I was saying this in the beginning, but I remember bumping into you at the Fat Black Pussycat, I think. And I think you were like upstairs. And I was like, hey, man, you've been killing it. I've been seeing your stuff pop up on my feed. And that's usually kind of how I get a bearing, right? Like, like who's popping up on my feed that I haven't even been searching for? And your stuff started popping up. And then I was seeing a lot of stuff on Instagram. And like, it seemed like you were very methodical about the release. You have a special out right now. I
have a special out right now called
I should have said Crushing It.
We were talking about fucking people's wives and then citing Revolution. I forgot to plug my special. But yeah, live at the Lodge Room right now.
Live at the Lodge.
Live at the Lodge Room.
Lodge Room, and it's on YouTube
on my
right
YouTube
now.
channel.
Stavros Halkias. And it's crushing.
Yeah, we got 1.5 mil in a week, so that feels good.
This is great.
Thank you, man.
This is not, hey, I'm going to throw up a special because I think that that's how it works. You were methodical about this shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was the kind of thing where you're just like, well, what the, because I love stand-up comedy. It's the thing that, like, I've dedicated my life to, as dumb as that is. And it's like, we really are kind of like, it's hard to, like, get anyone to care about stand-up comedy on its own, right? And I was lucky enough to have a fucking, my podcast popped, and I was doing a couple, and I was just like, had a little fan base there, and I had, my socials, whatever, but I was just like, I need people to pay attention to my stand-up, and also people just didn't know that I was good at stand-up. Like, that's the funny thing is when you...
People know you from a podcast.
Know me from a podcast.
You do stand-up and you kill, so you start thinking, oh, they know I do stand-up, I know I'm good. They have no fucking clue
no idea
until you show them.
And that's the thing, I would do it on the road, and it's like, that was fun. And people would be like, what? Like, they'd be like,
They're
what?
surprised.
They're like, because the people will just come to see a guy they know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
a lot of times it's a meet and greet.
Yeah, truly. And, you know, some people make a good living doing that. You know what I mean?
Well, they get
like,
one round.
Yeah. And it does diminish every time.
If they're not good. And if they're good, people start telling their friends.
Yeah.
And then you're fucking...
So, and it was just the kind of thing where I was just like, I need to get fucking traction going. And I made a conscious decision that this year was going to be the year that I got my stand-up out there. And it kind of helped. The algorithms all kind of pushed me a certain way because it was like, you know, no one gave a fuck about still images. Everyone wanted fucking reels. They wanted TikToks. They wanted that shit. It's like, I'm not learning how to be good at another social platform. You know what I mean? Like that, I'm 33. So it's like, but I saw that stand-up played really well, right? And I kind of reverse engineered it where it was like, what's fucking working? And it was like, honestly, I told you at the Fat Black where I was like, you were a blueprint. You know what I mean? Where it's like, where it was just like, I saw, and very early on where it was just like, you know, and I also, to be fair, I had that little purist part of me that was just like, this isn't how this art form shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Where it's just like...
You sound like a tyrant.
No, I'm a comedy Republican. I am 100% a comedy Republican. Work your way up. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like, you don't get anything handed to you. Be in the wilderness for 10 years. Learn how to get good. So I did have to fight that, but I just saw it. And I was preparing for a special, so I was taping every single show I did.
Smart.
Because I was just like, I want to know what I'm doing. I wanted to watch myself. And I was like, you know what? Like, maybe there'll be some bits I don't use. And I wasn't even really thinking about the crowd work because that was just kind of something I did for fun.
Yeah.
And then I taped a whole year's worth of shows, and I had them. And I was just like, well, I need to build up my YouTube channel before I drop, right? Because I had 25,000 subscribers, which is not bad, but it's, you know, not the kind of thing that gets you 1 million views. And I was just like, all right, well, let me just try and post some clips. But I was like, it's so funny because the crowd work was an accident because I was just like, well, before I have time to go through and decide what I'm going to cut out of my special, I'll just post a couple of crowd work things here and there, and they just fucking pop.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, I have a ton of this. I just kind of did it, you know, because it's like, I think it's
a good mix.
It's great,
You had like a good mix of crowd work,
Totally.
you had bits, and you were putting it out, and it was methodical, and it was for maybe how long before you dropped?
I started in February, and I dropped in June. So it was 4 months.
And I mean, and you create some momentum, you create some curiosity. Not only create new fans, but you're creating these like portals of entry for you on YouTube.
And I did everything. I did TikTok, YouTube, Instagram.
And then when you do, you know, a stream with Hassan and it goes up on YouTube, all those people that watch that get recommended a clip. And they're like, oh, fuck, I really love this guy's stand-up. So everything else that you do online feeds what you created.
And that was the idea. That was like, let's, and it was funny because it was like, I kind of saw stand-up and I was like, let me just establish myself as stand-up. But it really is a separate thing where it's like, I kind of established myself as like a crowd work comic, which like I've always wanted to be, like Bird talked about this where he was like, every special he wanted to add a new thing. Yeah. And I kind of think of like, what's the point of comedy if you want to be a 5-tool comic, right? Where you
do everything.
You add everything, storytelling. Like I started Setup Punch, and then it's like I did a little crowd work to get because I was I used to be nervous on stage. And I was like, let's just try it. Yeah. And then storytelling, and then honestly, podcasting has become one of the tools.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
And
just
not everybody can do it.
Yeah.
Not everybody can. This is different. There are comics that we think are absolutely amazing on stage.
Yeah, genius.
But this is very hard for them.
Totally.
Like just riffing with somebody. Like, you know, getting on a funny tangent.
Totally.
Eye contact.
Eye contact.
It's all part of it. That's one of the tools, actually.
I got this. One of the first ones, but it's important. And so, dude, and it was just the kind of thing where I was lucky because I established myself as like, people knew me from the podcast, and I was pretty funny online, but it wasn't something I cared about. Yeah. And then it was like the crowd work kind of popped, and then the special was like, that was cool too, because it was like, people like, well, he's really good at crowd work, and they just assume like, oh, he's on a podcast, he knows how to riff. And then it was cool. It was actually really gratifying to be like, there's an hour of jokes you're about to watch that some of you don't even think I'm capable of. So it was great, man. And it was just like, it worked better than I thought. I mean, the fucking YouTube shit popped off in a way that I was like truly not imagining. Like I went from 25,000 to like I think right now I have 325,000. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, I was like, what the fuck? And so, but it was cool because it was like, and I've kind of thought about it where it's like, I do have that purist thing, but I also think the way we record stand-up in general is fake. Like, a special is not being in a room. And what's special, what is awesome about comedy and stand-up is that it is the most, like, the context changes every night. And the show is the relationship with the crowd.
Yeah, what is the purest thing that you're getting into? Like,
well, I was just saying, like, I wanted to release a well-thought-out hour. Nobody saw any of the bits, and it all works together, and all. And it's like it's just like it'll speak for itself. But A, that's not how it works, right? That's fucking old-fashioned. That's stupid to think that way. And B, it's like I actually have found that it's like, well, if what's special about stand-up is that you forge a like unique relationship with every crowd, and there are moments that will never happen again that happen in that crowd. And if you figure out a way to you know, it does. You still don't get it. Like, you know it too. It's like so many of your clips are like these awesome organic moments, and it comes across, but it doesn't feel as good as it feels in that room. You get 80%, you get 85%, and you get the point across as good or even better than some like recorded stand-up. So it's like I actually found like it was like actually I was like, oh, this is actually like I am showing some like really fun moments. And the other thing is, it made me a better comic because I was really in the moment. It's really easy. So the first half of the tour, I was just polishing my hour.
That is your
and you have to be you.
Reaction. If you don't have that in you, if you don't have the pure, like, funny in you, and some people don't have it, and that's fine, and they can be very good comics too.
Totally.
But if you don't have that pure funny, then you're not going to have that instinct in the moment to do that thing. There's the funniest thing to do in the moment. And I think that's why it like penetrates to people.
I think, for sure.
You know, like I think I'm in a similar boat where like a lot of people know the crowd work stuff. I mean, that was an idea to do the crowd work special when we did it from Alex on our way down in a train to DC. He goes, you want to just like tape it and you just do the crowd work and then like we'll just put it out? Even before that, I had released 2 things that were just bits. Like I love bits. And I still do love them.
Totally, of course.
And it's like, and then when I put out the special, ideally like refusing these things, but for me, like I just love the most like authentic connection. And when that connection is real, when we're doing bits, don't get me wrong, like we're pretending we're pretending in the bit.
And
like,
you can tap into something through the bit.
That's when
you can.
It's like you tap into the emotion. And for me, when I'm getting a reaction from them, that's where I can tap in and I can like feel what I felt when I was originally telling that story or doing that bit. And then you create this thing that you know isn't real. But feels fucking real.
Feels real, for sure.
So it's like, getting that in a crowd work moment or getting that in a bit moment, or, dude, I think there's gonna be a point in my career where I'm like, what if I just did like a one-liner special?
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't worked on one-liners. I admire people who are really good at them.
Do an act-out special. It's just
just only, like, not for real,
just
like,
stool work.
Right? Like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't think that we should be so rigid with what this thing is. And now that we have the freedom, we had to be rigid before because HBO wasn't paying for some, like, just you to do something random. They're like, hey, do the thing that works. Now that we're putting it out, it's whatever the fuck we want it to be.
And there's so much, and like I want to do a crowd work special, and that's the next big project. Where it's like, and I want to like think about the way to do it. That's like, you know,
how you always shoot it.
Exactly.
You
like,
always want to be. What's the environment? Push it.
You always want to be pushed, and that's what I try to do with my special. Where it's like there were some great YouTube specials. There's some great hours out there. But I was like, I want this. You have to take. Everything has to go to the next level or you're not going to stand out. So that's what I tried to do, you know.
I also think it's funny when people call them YouTube specials. Like, soon there will be no other place but YouTube for a special.
It is really funny that, like, by accident, like Netflix, HBO, all these, like, streamers have pushed, like, some of the best comedy onto fucking YouTube, on their biggest competitor.
It's the best.
And it was a real, I do think it will be a, like, tactical error on their part.
It's huge.
You know, because it's like, but it's like people watch you. For me, it was almost like
I tell them every time I'm on the phone. I'm like, if you just paid me, you'd have a job in the future.
But you
fucked up.
He really says that.
I said that. I go, if you paid me, you would still be working. But you didn't.
I know.
So it is what it is.
And like I like that it can just get out there. Like again, for me, the biggest thing, I just wanted people to see it.
That's all we care about. And Netflix had it. Netflix thought that, like, I think a lot of these networks thought that, like, we were doing it because it was really important that there was, like, an end that popped up before we started talking. You just had the people. The second you don't have the people, it's like loyalty to, this is kind of fucked up to say, but it's true. It's like loyalty to a comedy club. It's like, we all love the club that's full. Do you know what I mean? But like, if there's two people in the audience, we're gonna see how many people love that fucking club every time. Like, we love a nice full one. So the same thing, once you lost the people, like there are people that are putting Netflix specials out, nobody's watching.
Of course,
It's like, wouldn't you rather everybody see that? They're putting Netflix specials out. You're putting yours out, and they're seeing that number, and they're going, and then when you do a new tour, they're gonna see where you're performing, and they're gonna go, I'm never doing that.
Was it worth the $100 grand?
Whatever
it is.
And now they're low. Now they can't afford, you know, because stock's so low. Now they can't afford the big fucking numbers. So now they're not paying you the big shit.
But they're also not finding the next generation that might have loyalty to them. If, you know, if like 6 months ago someone gave me a fucking huge, you know, I recorded this by myself. I didn't want to fucking pay $40,000. You know what I mean? Like, I would have loved for someone to do it.
You're a comedy Republican, bro.
I am, so I really am.
It's like, who's paying, bro? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if somebody just hands me a fucking check for $100 million and like, hey, listen, we want a few specials from you, I'm gonna find a way. 100%. Yes, Roku. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can make this happen.
100%.
But at the same time, if
put me on Tubi.
Put me on Tubi. You'll be on Daily Wire.
Ben Shapiro presents
the Newsmax special.
You know, it's actually cool to not ever get your wife wet.
But I guess what I'm saying is like, but if they can't pay you the amount of money that's worth people not seeing it.
Right.
You got to pay me for who's not going to see it.
100%.
If they can't pay you for who's not going to see it, and nobody's going to see it. Buddy, I'm putting it up here. I'm going to find another way. I have another way, I think. Totally. That people will find out about soon, but I think there is a way. We'll talk about it off
I'd love to, But yeah, no, it's been sick, and I'm really excited, and like, I can't wait to, I mean, I need a little time off because it's been 9 months in a row. It's like I'm just fucking too unhealthy, but I'm gearing up for like a really big 2023, and I just, you know.
I'm excited to see I get excited when I see guys that have like committed to this strategy because you can really see what happens in their career. And like, I kind of like, I know what you're about to go through. You know when somebody says they're gonna watch Game of Thrones for the first time, or something, and you're just like, oh, dude, this is gonna be awesome. Like, I know what you're about to go through, and like, it's
let's
really
avoid the red wedding.
But then, how will you have sex with women?
You're right.
No, but Al was with me. I remember like. We were going on the road, and it's just really cool.
No, it's been great. I mean, even this year has been fucking crazy, and I've been really lucky. Like, I just hired 2 of my best friends. And it's just like, that's the other thing. It's like I want, like, yes, I'm a comedy Republican in the way that it's like, I just think you should earn it, and it's like, it's talent, and you should like, it wins out. But also, it's like, I'm happy now, bro. Like, of course, I'll take it to the, like, you know, I'm not gonna stop working hard. I'm in the middle of like, whatever prime you have, like it's now. But like, if you told me when I was fucking 19 that it's like I get to travel, do headline clubs, my best friends are with me, and we just like, my work meetings are like, you know, a Google Meet with my, like a guy I've known since kindergarten. I'd be like, can I sign a contract for this to be the rest of my life? You know what I mean? Like, I fucking love it. Awesome.
It is, like we're fucking blessed. This is,
and that's why I think the world's ending, because my life is going well.
No,
like, that's why I think the nuclear holocaust is imminent. Because I'm like,
things are too good right now. But that's why I do believe, and don't get me wrong, we've been incredibly lucky and have very fortunate things happen. But like,
totally.
That's why I do believe in the dream a little bit, because like you're working with like my boy Dove that you met is the first friend I met at college. Do you know what I mean?
That's
Jamil,
awesome.
who I don't even think is here, is one of my first friends I met in high school.
Right?
I mean, like Al, I thought he was another guy. He DM'd me as a guy who used to do comedy. He made up a name. It just so happened. So I started messaging back and forth because I love that guy.
The name was Bob Saget, by the way. He said, yo, my name's Bob.
But it's like yeah, we've been able to create these things, and like meeting Mark, having Mark come on. Miles is Mark's buddy from college. Like that kind of thing trickles down, and it's just fucking great. And you're building these things, and I don't know. I guess that's why I'm bullish on this idea of American dream or whatever.
Well, here's the thing. What I'll say about it is like, yes, it's possible. Like, but here's the thing. It's a casino. I love casinos. Yeah. I have a great time at casinos. But it's like, I happen to hit on the roulette. You know what I mean? Like
we're the house.
Yeah. I'll hit the you know what we are truly. We're the guys at the casinos who know the rules of blackjack and just stay there for hours doing it.
Give me 51%.
Yeah.
51% chance.
And we're grinding it out, and we can. You know what I mean?
And eventually we get successful enough, and then YouTube finds out, and they're like, "You're banned from the fucking."
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. Enjoy it. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Thanks, man. No, I'm having a fucking blast.
I know there's like, we could have a tendency of like to, figure out all the things that maybe we could be doing, or like why we don't deserve, or something like that, and it kind of like ruins the joy a little bit.
Totally,
so it's one of those things that I've tried really hard to, instead of going, why I shouldn't have it, I go, I'm so lucky.
Totally.
Right? Like,
well, that's what it is. And like, I am taking, like, I know it's kind of like my strategy isn't necessarily the soundest, because it's like, I could do really good numbers on the road off the strength of this right now, but I just knew that I needed time off, and I needed to enjoy, like, enjoy it, but also just like decompress. And it's like, what's the point?
Evolve, dude. Like, don't force out the material.
Be a human being. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. At least for me, I got to care about the shit that I'm talking about.
Of course.
Like, so it's like,
of course.
You reach the end of your rope, and you need to like find out how you're a different person. Yeah. Like how you fucking change.
And come back and miss it. That's the other thing. Once you miss it, it's like then the fire's back. Because right now it's like, I am fucking phoning it in. Philly's already sold out. I don't have to plug it. The shows are going to be bad, folks.
They're trying to tell you to do radio? You're like, for what?
Literally. I was like, no.
It's done. We did the job.
But yeah, so I'm excited to just fucking get back with the fire and just like do other shit.
Have you gotten a lot of Greek love?
It started now, like, because the thing is, when I first started doing comedy, like, the local Greek people, like, wanted me to, like,
do the Greek shows.
And it's like, you want me to come do, should I do my ass-eating chunk at St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Festival? You know what I mean? It's like, I just was not that comic at all, where it's like, there's such an ethnic, like, hack circuit. Yeah. But, now I've been doing comedy, 14 years, whatever, and it's like, in this special, there is a lot of stuff about, like, growing up as an immigrant and having, like, a Greek family and all this stuff that just kind of organically happens.
Because it's hilarious.
Yeah,
they're funny people.
It's very funny.
But they don't feel like Greek bits to me. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm the Greek guy.
Well, it's relatable to Greek people love that shit, and I've gotten a lot of it.
But non-Greeks can appreciate the joke.
It's more of an immigrant thing than like, that's the thing you recognize, is that, like, the fish out of water story is what it is.
That's why Sebastian kills with more than just Italians. People thought it was, all these Italians.
It's fucking Indians at his show. It's Muslims, everything.
My dad is also like that. Yeah. My family is also like that. It is the immigrant experience. Yeah. And it's not as unique, I guess, as we thought.
Totally. No, absolutely.
Like, everybody thinks that they're existing in their own bubble.
Oh, dude, it's so funny because every ethnic group is just like, everything they say, it's like, Greek people, they love to eat. It's like, you know what I mean? Or like, there's like, black people always late. It's like every culture says that about themselves. Like, Greek time. It's like, no, everyone is just the same. Like,
white people are just perfect. I think that's
in summation. The final thesis is that, like, except for American whites. Yeah.
Well, good shit, man. I'm stoked for you, buddy. Dude. I really am.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Let the people know, like, any other place they could. I know the tour is almost done.
Yeah, the tour's ending, but I will say I'm taking it real easy in the fall, but there are a couple fall dates. I'm going to be in Denver. I'm going to be in Denver. I'm going to be in Pittsburgh. I'm going to be in Phoenix. I'm doing Carolinas in December. Like, so there's a handful for me to gear up for 2023. But yeah, just the YouTube channel is really what it is. I mean, I'm really investing in that a lot. I'm letting the special breathe a little bit, but when this, I post every day, I post a short, and then I also twice a week post like a longer clip from like a, either topical stuff, crowd work, whatever, just like a 3 to 5 minute bit. So I do a lot. I post a lot on my YouTube channel, and there's a couple things I got cooking. So just go to the YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok.
Your Instagram, what is
Stavy Baby 2.
Stavy Baby 2.
STAVVY Baby 2. And yeah, Stavi.biz is my website. I'm going to have some cool merch for the special up there and just a bunch of stuff. So just watch the special. That's really what it is, man. Watch the special.
Listen, we wish you best of luck. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Appreciate you. Peace.